You've been saving for 6 months. You're doing everything right. Skipping the daily coffee, bringing lunch to work, saying no to happy hour. You check your savings account and see $2,300 sitting there. You should feel proud. You should feel accomplished, but instead, you feel nothing. Actually, worse than nothing, you feel kind of stupid because $2,300 doesn't feel like enough to matter. It won't buy a house. It won't change your life. It won't even cover 3 months of rent. So when your friends invite you to a weekend trip and it costs $400, you think, what's the point of saving $2,300 if I can't even enjoy my life? You spend the $400 and that savings account that took 6 months to build starts to shrink. And here's the brutal truth. You're not wrong that $2,300 doesn't feel meaningful, but you are wrong about when saving starts to matter. There's a specific number, a psychological threshold where everything changes, where saving stops feeling pointless and starts feeling powerful. By the end of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that number is, why hitting it transforms your entire relationship with money, and most importantly, how to get there even if you're starting from zero. My name is Max, and I want to help you learn how to make your money work more for you in your life. Today, I'm going to reveal the critical savings threshold that separates people who give up on saving from people who build serious wealth. And I'll show you the exact psychological and mathematical forces that make this number so powerful. So, let's get started, and please make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Here's the thing. Your brain is terrible at valuing future money, and it's especially terrible at valuing small amounts of future money. There's a concept in behavioral economics called mental accounting, where your brain categorizes money differently based on context. $2,000 in your checking account now feels like spending money. It's there, it's liquid, it can disappear at any moment. But $50,000 in savings, that's different. That feels real, that feels like security. According to research from Duke University, behavioral economist Dan Ariely, people significantly undervalue small savings amounts because they can't envision what those amounts can do. $100 saved doesn't feel powerful because your brain can't translate it into tangible life impact. But here's what makes this worse. There's also something called goal gradient effect. Research shows that people are exponentially more motivated to complete a goal as they get closer to the finish line. When you're at $500 out of $10,000, you're only 5% there. The finish line is invisible. The motivation is minimal, but when you're at $9,000 out of $10,000, you're 90% there. The finish line is visible, and suddenly you're highly motivated. This is why saving feels pointless early on. You're in the demotivation zone where progress feels invisible and the goal feels impossibly distant. Additionally, there's the comparison trap. When you look at people talking about having $50,000, $100,000 or more in savings, your $2,000 feels like a rounding error. It feels so small by comparison that it doesn't feel worth protecting or growing. But here's what most people don't realize. Everyone who has $50,000 saved went through the exact same psychological struggle at $2,000. The difference is they pushed through to the magic number where everything changed. Okay, so what is this magic number? It's $10,000. $10,000 in liquid savings is the psychological and practical threshold where saving stops feeling pointless and starts feeling powerful. Now you might be thinking, Max, that seems arbitrary. Why not $8,000 or $15,000? Great question. Let me explain why $10,000 specifically is where the transformation happens. Psychologically, $10,000 is the first 5-figure amount. Your brain processes it differently than 4-figure amounts. It's not just bigger. It's a different category. When you see $10,000 in your account, your brain registers it as real money in a way that $9,000 doesn't trigger. Research from the Journal of Consumer Psychology shows that round numbers, especially those that cross magnitude thresholds, like moving from 4 figures to 5 figures, create disproportionate psychological impact. $10,000 feels like 10 times more significant than $1,000, even though mathematically it's only 10 times larger. Practically $10,000 is enough to handle the vast majority of genuine emergencies. According to data from HomeAdvisor and Angie, most emergency home repairs cost between $150 and $3,000. According to AAA, Most car repairs cost between $500 and $2,500. According to healthcare cost data, most urgent care and minor medical emergencies cost between $100 and $2,000 out of pocket, even with insurance. $10,000 covers almost all of these scenarios with margin to spare. It's not just theoretical security, it's real. Functional security, mathematically, this is where compound growth starts to become visible and meaningful. Let's say your $10,000 is in a high-yield savings account, earning 4.5% annually. That's $450 per year, or $37.50 per month in interest alone. That's enough to cover a utility bill or two. Your money is starting to work for you in a way that feels tangible. If invested in the market averaging 8% annually, $10,000 grows to approximately $10,800 in 1 year. That $800 in growth feels meaningful. It's a car payment covered by growth. It's groceries for a month. Your brain can now see money making money. This is where it gets really interesting. Let me break down the specific tangible changes that happen once you cross the $10,000 threshold. Change number 1. Your decision-making shifts from scarcity to abundance. When you have $400 in savings and a $350 car repair comes up, you're in panic mode. You're scrambling, stressed, trying to figure out how to cover it without destroying your finances. But when you have $10,000 and a $350 car repair comes up, you're annoyed, but you're not panicking. You pay it, and you still have $9,650. So you're operating from abundance instead of scarcity, and this shift changes every financial decision you make. According to research from Princeton and Harvard on scarcity mindset, operating from financial scarcity literally impairs cognitive function. You make worse decisions, you focus on short-term survival over long-term planning, and you're constantly stressed. But $10,000 lifts you out of scarcity mode. Your brain can think clearly. You make better decisions. You can focus on building wealth instead of just surviving. Change number 2, saving becomes self-reinforcing instead of demoralizing. When you're saving your first $2,000, every setback feels devastating. You save $2,000, then your car needs $600 in repairs, and now you're at $1,400. It feels like you're going backward. It's demoralizing. But when you have $10,000 and a $600 expense comes up, you pay it and you're at $9,400. Yes, it's a setback, but you're still firmly in 5-figure territory. You're still secure. The setback doesn't destroy your progress psychologically. This creates positive reinforcement instead of negative reinforcement, which makes continuing to save dramatically easier. Change number 3. You can start taking calculated risks that accelerate wealth. With $10,000 saved, you can make moves that people with no savings can't make. You can invest in a certification that increases your earning potential. You can leave a toxic job and take a month to find a better one. You can start a side business with a small amount of capital. These opportunities don't exist when you have $800 in savings. $10,000 gives you the runway to make strategic moves that compound into significantly higher income and wealth over time. Change number 4. Compound growth becomes visible and motivating. Look, when you have $500 invested and it grows by 8% in a year, you earn $40. Your brain dismisses that as meaningless. But when you have $10,000 invested and it grows by 8%, you earned $800. That's real money. That's a weekend trip. That's a month of groceries. Your brain registers it as significant. This visible growth creates motivation to save and invest more. You're seeing your money work for you in a tangible way, which reinforces the behavior. Okay, let's talk about the actual mathematics of why $10,000 is the inflection point where saving accelerates dramatically. According to data from the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, households with less than $5,000 in liquid savings see their savings decrease or stagnate over time at a rate of about 60%. They're constantly dealing with emergencies that drain whatever they've saved. But households that cross the $10,000 threshold, their savings growth rate accelerates. On average, they're able to add another $10,000 in about 60% of the time it took to save the first $10,000. Why? Because they're no longer constantly draining their savings for emergencies. The foundation is solid, so growth can compound. Let me show you a real example. Let's say you're saving $400 per month. From $0 to $10,000 and at $400 per month with no setbacks, it takes 25 months. But realistically, you'll have setbacks, car repairs, medical bills, whatever. So it probably takes 30 to 36 months to reach $10,000. It's slow, it's brutal, it feels endless. From $10,000 to $20,000, now you have a buffer. When emergencies happen, they don't completely derail your progress. You're still saving $400 per month, but because you're not constantly starting over from setbacks, you reach $20,000 in about 22 to 26 months instead of another 30 to 36. From $20,000 to $30,000, even faster. You're in momentum. You've proven you can save. The habit is locked in, and psychologically, you don't want to go backward. You hit $30,000 in maybe 18 to 22 months. This is the power of crossing the threshold. The first $10,000 might take 3 years. The next $20,000 might take 3 years total. The acceleration is real. Additionally, once you have $10,000, you can start being more strategic with how you save and invest. Maybe you keep $10,000 in high-yield savings as your emergency fund, and everything beyond that goes into investments. Now you're building wealth faster while maintaining security. All right, let's get tactical. If you're at $0, $1,000, or $5,000 right now, how do you actually get to $10,000? Step 1, set a specific timeline. Don't just say, I want to save $10,000 someday. Say, I will have $10,000 saved by December 31st, 2027. If you're starting from zero and that's 24 months away, you need to save $417 per month. If it's 18 months, you need $555 per month. Make it concrete. Step 2, automate the savings before you see the money. Set up an automatic transfer from checking to a separate high-yield savings account the day after you get paid. If you wait to see what's left over at the end of the month, there will never be anything left over. Automation removes willpower from the equation. Step 3, aggressively cut expenses for 12 to 18 months. This is temporary sacrifice, not permanent deprivation, for the next 12 to 18 months. Live like you're broke even if you're not. Cut subscription services, stop eating out, drive your current car longer, delay purchases, find every possible dollar and redirect it to savings. Step 4, increase income through side work. If you can't find enough in your current budget, you need to increase the budget. Pick up freelance work, drive for a rideshare service, sell stuff you don't need, ask for a raise, or switch jobs for higher pay. Every extra dollar accelerates your timeline. Step 5, protect the first $10,000 ruthlessly. Once you hit $10,000, the temptation will be enormous to spend it on something you want. A vacation, a car upgrade, furniture, whatever. Do not do this. Guard that $10,000 like your financial life depends on it, because it does. This is your foundation. Everything builds from here. Now, you're probably wondering, what if I have debt? Should I save $10,000 first or pay off debt now? Here's my answer. Build $1,000 to $2,000 as a starter emergency fund first. Then attack high-interest debt, credit cards, payday loans, aggressively. Then build the full $10,000. If you try to save $10,000 while carrying $8,000 in credit card debt at 24% interest, the debt is destroying your wealth faster than the savings is building it. Let me share 2 examples of people who crossed this threshold and experienced exactly what I'm describing. Example 1, Jessica, 29, teacher. Jessica started with $0 in savings at age 27. She was living paycheck to paycheck on a $48,000 salary. She committed to saving $10,000, and it took her 22 months of intense discipline. Second job on weekends, extreme budgeting, zero social spending. She told me that when she finally hit $10,287 in her savings account, she cried. Not because she was done, but because for the first time in her adult life, she felt secure. A month later, her car needed a $900 repair. Old Jessica would have panicked. New Jessica paid it without stress and still had over $9,000 left. Within 18 months after hitting $10,000, she had $22,000 saved. The momentum completely changed. She's now at $48,000 in net worth at age 31 and on track to hit 6 figures by 35. Example 2, Marcus, 34, software developer. Marcus was making $85,000 but had lifestyle inflation, expensive apartment, leased luxury car, constant travel. Despite the high income, he had only $3,200 in savings at age 32. He decided to get serious. He moved to a cheaper apartment, got rid of the car lease, and committed to hitting $10,000. It took him 11 months. He said the shift was immediate. I stopped feeling broke, despite making good money. I realized I'd been living like I was wealthy when I was actually fragile, and $10,000 changed how I saw everything. 2 years later, he has $52,000 saved and is investing aggressively for early retirement. He makes the same income, he just stopped wasting it. Seriously, if $10,000 is so transformative, why do most people never reach it? According to Bankrate, about 57% of Americans couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency with savings. That means the majority never even get close to $10,000. Here's why. Reason number 1, they give up during the demotivation zone. The first $5,000 is brutal. Progress feels invisible. Setbacks feel devastating. Most people quit before they experience the psychological shift. Reason number 2, they don't protect their savings. They'll save $4,000, then spend $3,000 on a vacation or a new TV because they deserve it. They never build the foundation because they keep raiding it. Reason number 3, lifestyle inflation. They get a raise and immediately increase their spending instead of increasing their savings rate. Income goes up, but savings stay flat. Reason number 4, no clear target. They're saving to save without a specific goal. $10,000 gives you a concrete target that your brain can lock onto and pursue. The people who hit $10,000 aren't smarter or luckier. They just push through the hard part that most people quit during. Look, I know that if you're at $0 or $2,000 right now, $10,000 feels impossibly far away. I know the journey ahead looks long and hard. I know you're probably thinking about all the sacrifices you'll have to make. But here's what I need you to understand. The struggle you're feeling right now, the feeling that saving is pointless, that you're not making progress, that it doesn't matter, that feeling goes away at $10,000. Everything I've described in this video, the psychological shift, the visible compound growth, the security, the momentum, it's all real. It's not motivational fluff. It's what actually happens when you cross this threshold. Your life on the other side of $10,000 is fundamentally different from your life before it. You make better decisions. You stress less. You have options. You're building wealth instead of just surviving. But you only get there if you start and if you don't quit during the hard part. So here's what I want you to do. Right now, today, commit to a specific timeline for hitting $10,000. Write it down. Tell someone who will hold you accountable. Set up the automatic transfer. Start the journey. And when you hit it, and you will if you stay consistent, come back to this video and comment, I hit $10,000 so others who are struggling can see that it's possible. If this video showed you the specific savings target that will change your entire financial life, do me a favor. Share this video with one friend who needs to hear this message. Not for me, but because you might change their life by showing them what's possible. Also, join the community by hitting that subscribe button and drop a comment right now telling me, how much do you currently have saved and what's your target date for hitting $10,000? Your financial future is built one milestone at a time. $10,000 is the first one that actually matters. Go get it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.